all sail! Let's have a song. You Salskulls got a story.
I had an odd friend when I was a boy. His name was Nori. And by the gods, that boy could lie. Told us his father traded with the elves. Told us he had kissed sweet Hannah. Said he had seen a giant in the woods. Well, one day we decided we would see about him. So we dared him to take us to the place he saw the giant. He twisted and turned, but at last he agreed. The thing is, I had been out there already. I had taken up a big rock and made footprints in the soft earth. Heels and toes. Giant's feet. When he saw those prints, he went white as a virgin's breeches. Everyone made out they were scared. And then... Who's that walking through my wood? I howled from the trees, and I thrashed the branches all around. Nori screamed like a maiden and took to his heels. By the smell of it, he emptied his arse on the way. He told us afterwards he knew it was a trick, but he never did go near those woods again.
We row from here!
My first day defending the walls of Grantebridge, my duty was defense. I had asked for this task myself. As I patrolled the walls, I sang and banged my shield against the ribs of the walls. I woke half the camp with my wailing. I sang from the Eddas' gallant leap and
Catch
sword
the wind!
They thought me too frivolous. Until the day I caught a spy. Some filthy shadow walker trying to rob us. Of what? Only Loki knows. Galinn killed him before he could be tried. My point is, always be loud. Act a fool. Be a nuisance. It is your greatest defense. For the less your enemy thinks of you, the more he thinks you a fool, the more likely he is to make a grave error. We are here to stay, are we not? Heed my advice, and you will live a long, long time.
Is there a sea skull among you?
Who among you has heard the tale of the Kraken? It is a real beast, I tell you. I saw it with my own eyes, a long time ago. I had barely a hair on my chin. I was out whaling, painting the sea red as we dragged our quarry back to the village by its fin. Fine old grey. Huge he was, but the boat slowed down some.
Take the mast down!
Then stopped. And soon started moving against the current. We were stunned into silence. Whales die a slow death sometimes, and often they make a last bit to escape. So I checked its bindings. There it was. The Kraken. His arm wrapped around the whale, pulling it down to the depths. And us with it. I slashed the rope, releasing the whale. And as quickly as it came, the monster disappeared, dragging its dinner into the icy waters. Vanished completely. Took me another season to muster the desire to go whaling again.
Run up the sail!
It was a man called Hjortve the Cruel that brought me to these rain-soaked shores. You all know the name.
Can't be sailing
Of that
here,
I am
Amon!
certain. He and my father Rognvald had some disagreements. But my father was never one to bow his head and keep silent. Hjortve's men came for him when I was out hunting. I was not there to defend him. And then when my brother Gurim also fell, I, like a coward, fled to England. I swore that in time I would return to avenge my father's death. But I waited too long. Upon my return from Francia, I heard the news. Hjortve the Cruel is long dead, slain by the hand of Eivor. The wolf kissed her. I am glad my father's killer is dead. But gods, I wish I had been there to swing the axe myself.
Let's hear a story.
You want a story, but I will give you a confession. And if you think me weaker for it, that tells more about you than me. Here is my secret. I love love. I love being in love. I love the ache of love, the turmoil of love. My parents taught me that. To love love. My mother once said, better to feel the stings and arrows of love than nothing at all. Be a bolt of lightning.
Some sort of
not a
hook
stone.
there.
So many men forget to hug. My father would go by every hut in our village every night with mead and hugs. I would do the same. He always said, beyond the complex lives of gods are these simple truths. We forget, and it takes tragedy to get them back. He said this too. Hugs are hugs. Mead is mead. Love is love.
Monastery,
Gods,
bound
I
to be
miss
rich.
you.
Estrid spoke often of the teachings of Christ. I found them cold and strange, hidden in word tangles of a sacred tongue. The common folk do not even know the language they worship in. They listen but do not understand. Despite that, it has captured many Norse minds. Often I wonder why. We Norse dream of doom and know we cannot avoid it. Those who do not die in battle face eternity in cold hell. But the Christian God gives hope. Even the poor and meek will find paradise. He welcomes all, if they only worship him. Has Christ captured you? Estrid asked me once as we lay together in bed. But Christ is a God of peace, ill-suited to my nature. Odin is my guiding light. He, at least, is never boring.
We need an epic tale.
I know a crazed man about my age called Rokur. We had taken to calling Rokur the Rodent for his habit of collecting axes. For 20 years he collected axes of all make and size. He had never seen a day of battle, but he swore to Thor that he would. In his 31st year, after drinking too much ale, Rokur seduced another man's wife. That man called a holmgang against Rokur. Rokur accepted the holmgang, and on the agreed-upon day, he laid out 12 of his axes and asked, "Which of these will I use to slay you? Will it be Bone Splitter?" he said. "My bearded blade inscribed with Seidr runes, affixed to a handle of English oak? Or Blood Fountain," he continued. "My Dane axe, which swings through the air on 2 hands with the speed of an arrow's flight. Or might it be Twin Wolf Wounder?" Rokur growled,
Sailor!
growing even more bold. Fierce pair of throwing axes. At that moment, the man who had challenged Rokur brought a large stone down upon his head. Rokur died instantly, and his axes were given away as gifts.
Can't raise the sail here. Drop them off!
No man should trust. All too soon in the sun. Whether
Raise them up!
This pit, it fits the description in the letter about Ragnar Lothbrook. There is the cage that held him. The site abandoned, as if used once for a ritual and never again. Here, this is the place where Ragnar Lothbrook met his end. He must have been naked and bloodied, every drop draining into the pit. This supreme Drengir of all men, now King Illa's prize.
I have seen this day 1,000 times. Baldur keeps a cup of mead for me. I welcome my entry into the land of champions.
Mocked, ridiculed, humiliated. His honor did not budge. Dragged by cowards, thrown to snakes. They were more afraid than him.
I face death with a thirst on my lips. My reputation cannot be unwritten, inscribed on the hearts of those who fought beside me.
Set upon by venomous snakes, he stood and spoke with honor in spine for all those who live their lives for glory alone.
Oh, how the young pigs would grunt if they knew how this old boar suffered. You will meet them, Ale. One day, they will come.
His men came too late to save him. Those who fought for him, they loved him dearly. Their oaths, unbreakable. I have sent your Drengir to meet you, great king. You will be with them once again. There, where he fell, something glints in the soil. There is something in a pit, something left behind. Ragnar's dagger. A fine seax of Damascus steel.